I want to wake up this week and I want to see all of my shame, my need on that cross. I want to receive all of my validation at that cross. I want to carry whatever cross God has given me and not resent the people who didn't give me what I thought I needed. I am complete in that cross. I don't need you to tell me that I'm loved. Maybe it's time for me to tell you that you're loved. Now here's what's interesting. There's one disciple, his name is John, and I love John because he gave himself a nickname. There's a lot to love about John, because at the Last Supper, when Jesus is telling the disciples, you're all gonna leave, Peter's like, not me, I got you, bro. And John isn't saying much, but John, he saw himself a little differently. Here's what he called himself, okay? How many of you have a nickname that your friends call you and stuff? How many of you gave yourself a nickname? Okay, John is so confident, he gave himself a nickname. And let me tell you what he calls himself when he writes about himself in the Gospel according to John. He calls himself, how's this for a nickname? The one Jesus loved. So not, hey, I'm John. Hey, I'm his favorite. I love John. It's a certain kind of confidence that he has that he doesn't need to say much with his lips to prove his loyalty. He's just there. And so when John writes his gospel, he's like, hey, wait a minute, Matthew. We didn't all run. And he describes for a moment who was at the cross. And it's not who you would expect. Because you're looking for Peter at the cross, but Peter isn't at the cross. He couldn't get past the courtyard. The moment it became scandalous to stand with Jesus, and Jesus didn't do it like he thought it ought to be done, Peter started cussing people out. And maybe you're looking for Andrew at the cross, because Andrew was Peter's brother. He's the one who came and got Peter and said, hey, you got to meet this man. He's amazing. And he was amazing until it came to the cross, and then Andrew was absent. And so on the day that Jesus did what he came to do to begin with, he's calling the roll and no one is present. That's a bad day for the teacher when the whole class is gone. And the loneliness of hanging there all alone. No Bartholomew, no Nathaniel. Because when I read it, John tells us who was at the cross. Everybody say at the cross. At the cross. There's soldiers gambling for his garments at the foot of the cross. Everybody grabbing what they can from him, just like they did while he was living, just grabbing what they wanted from him. Just like sometimes we come to church, just grab what we want from God, just grab a goosebump, just grab a word. Oh, I came to get a word. But when it came time to, it was kind of quiet. Nathaniel? Andrew? Simon the Zealot? James, son of thunder? John? Here. Don't you appreciate the people who are just there? Like, watch this. It's not who you expect. It's not even the loud ones. Look who's at the cross. Look, John tells us because he was there. Matthew can't quite tell us because he wasn't. Again, he can tell you how delicious the bread was. He can tell you how delicious the fish tasted. But John tells us who was at the cross. I'm gonna give you something right now. God gave me something to give to you. You're about to be set free from some things that you didn't even know had locked you inside of yourself. You are about to get something from God that is going to release you to love like you haven't been able to love and enjoy the life he died to give you. So John says that near the cross of Jesus, remember, he's on the cross. And now let's see who's at the cross. First of all, his mother. The one who carried him now had to watch him carry her cross that she deserved, that he did not. And I think there's a whole message. Maybe I'll preach Mother's Day on this verse one time because it'd be a great Mother's Day scripture. What kind of strength does it take for a mom to stand there and watch her son die? Completely unable to do anything about it, just standing there. It says that near the cross of Jesus stood his mother. It does not record one word that she spoke, but she stood with him. She stood with him. Sometimes the greatest testimony of your loyalty is not what you will say to someone, but how you will stand with them. Because we've all got a cross. We've all got seasons that we will go into that will divide those who are loud from those who are really loyal. And who I see at the cross is and who I expect to see at the cross. Here's Mary, the mother of Jesus. There's her sister. There's Mary, the wife of Clopas. And there's Mary Magdalene. She had a rough life. Jesus really helped her. He cast some demons out of her that nobody else had been able to deal with. And that created a kind of loyalty within her that she was like, even if all I can do is stand here and cry, I'm not leaving. I wonder, could you get there with God that even if all I can do is stand here and wait to see what will become, you can't run me off. You've been too good to me and done too much for me. I'm not going anywhere. You have the words of eternal life. I'm staying near the cross. And when Jesus saw his mother there, John tells us, and the disciple whom he loved, John says, that's me, standing nearby, he said to her, woman, here is your son. And then watch this. He looked at the disciple whom he loved, the self-proclaimed favorite, and gave him a job. Here is your mother. Let's skip the fact that none of us in the room would be able to put aside our own selfishness enough if we were suffering like that to think about anyone else. Because you know when you're going through something, you don't ask anybody how their day is. And if you do, you really don't want to know and you hope they don't answer you. All you can really handle is fine. I'm telling you, when you're going through something, and you really need to watch for this, because I went through something a couple years ago with my dad, and somebody gave me good advice. They said, don't tell a lot of people what you're going through. Find a few people you can tell what you're going through. Most people are going to ask you, they really don't care. That would have been worth your trip to church today, just to know that they really don't mean tell me all about it. They really don't. They see you coming, they dodge you because your knees have been hurting 6 months and it's all you talk about. Your sore back, it's all you talk about. How hard it's been with your kids. Most people don't want to know all that because they've got their own stuff. They've got their own things they're dealing with. And to me, the presence of mind of Jesus, and I want to be more like this because I'm really not here yet, nor am I in the vicinity of this kind of Christ-likeness, but that he was able to look to the needs of others while he died for them. Not after he got up. While he's bleeding for their sins, he says, hey, look out for her, and you look out for him. And he's doing in his death what he did in his life, bringing them together as he dies. Hey, John, I need you to do something for me. Look out for her, and he's your son. Now, that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Because I would have been up there. I would not have even seen John standing at the cross because I would have been so mad at Peter. I would have been so mad at Andrew and don't even get me started on Judas. Oh my God, I would not have seen John because I would have been making up my plan for how I was going to get back at Judas. Sometimes we don't see those who are with us because we can only think of those who left us. But I want to declare over your life today, God will always leave a John at your cross. You got who you need. You got what what you need. If they left you, who was that for? Be honest about it. You have been so upset about the encouragement that you're not getting from somebody, you are tripping over the encouragement of 16 other people because you're mad at Bob. Well, what about Bob? If Bob left the cross, reach out to John. There's a John at your cross. Feel something happening in your heart right now. That just sets you free. You don't have to worry about who left. If they left, they're gone. If John is at the cross. Besides, why would Jesus be mad at Judas? He needed John to be there at the cross, but he needed Judas to get him to the cross. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. You might have to realize that some of the people that you hate the most actually helped you get to the place where you needed to be to do what God called you to do. Do you believe that? Can you receive this? This is a hard saying. This is the kind of stuff Jesus would say, and people would just walk away. But Jesus wasn't cursing Judas. It took Judas. It took a broken heart. It took a betrayal. Some of the people that left you were teaching you to love the people who are still there. It took that. It doesn't justify what they did. But maybe I'm going to get mature enough one day where I can be like Jesus. And I won't miss John cursing Judas. Yes, it is. I'm going to say this about 6 different ways before I close to make sure you get it, because that's my message, is that it takes 2. It takes 2. It takes 2. I want to rock right now. Touch somebody, say, I'm not internationally known. And see, when you got it like this, come on, somebody say, I got it like that. Jesus so knew who he was, and he had so received the affirmation that could only be given in the baptism at the Jordan. This is my son, and I am pleased with him. That no matter who wasn't there, he was so convinced about who was that he could look at John and look at Mary and give like that. And when you really get it like this, I mean, when you wake up in the morning and know that God has blessed you to see another day, you will not be needy anymore. Okay, I'll say it just like that. You're too needy. And you're too blessed to be this needy. I'm just telling you what God told me. You think it's hard for you to hear? I had to hear it all week. God kept me up all week getting this message ready for you. And he said, I need for your validation not to be in somebody else's mouth. I need your validation to be in that cross. I need you to be complete in that cross, so that if you don't get it from your mom, if you don't get it from your daughter, listen, sometimes people are giving you all they can give you. They can't give you anymore. And if you don't get it like this, you will never get it like that. You need to set some people free today from not giving you keys to your freedom that they don't hold. You have got to release some people from the expectation of perfection. They can't be everything to you. Even John couldn't get him down. All he could do was stand there. So I don't want to look to people to do for me what only God can. I don't want to be grabbing for garments at the foot of the cross. If I got it like this, I can give it like that. Whoever this is for, you've been trying to get affection from the wrong direction. You've been reaching for validation in all the wrong places. You're not going to get it like this. That's where you give. That's where Paul said, if there's any comfort from being united with Christ, what he's drawing across. He's saying to this Philippian church. You can look it up, Philippians 1 and chapter 2, verse 1 and 2, something like that. It's in Philippians somewhere. Google it. It says, you got it? Oh, if there's any encouragement from being united with Christ, somebody say, I got it like that. Okay, that's the part we're good at in church. He forgave me, he saved me, he loves me, he accepts me. But Paul says, if you got it like that, any comfort from his love, how many are comforted by the love of Christ in your heart today? If you got it like that, having the same love, being one in spirit and of one mind, I love this next instruction. Then make my joy complete. If you got it like that, give it like this. So I want to wake up this week and I want to see all of my shame, my need on that cross. I want to receive all of my validation at that cross. I want to carry whatever cross God has given me and not resent the people who didn't give me what I thought I needed. Because I am complete in that cross. I don't need you to tell me that I'm loved. Maybe it's time for me to tell you that you're loved. Maybe I've lived my life doing this long enough. Maybe it's time to live like he died. At the cross, there's John. On the cross, there's Jesus. In the cross, here's us. That's where our strength is, you know. Not in what people say or don't say. You feel the release in that? When I receive it, I can release it. God, show me who to encourage today. I don't need anything from you today. Here, I got mine at the cross. I got mine in the presence of God. In his presence is the fullness of joy. I am complete in him. I am the righteousness of God. I am complete. Somebody shout, I am complete. I am complete. I don't need you to complete me. I am complete in the cross of Jesus Christ. Where he bled is still flowing today and is flowing through me. Come on, give him 60 seconds of praise for the cross. For the cross. At the cross. I got it at the cross. I got it at the cross. I got it at the cross. That's how I know I'm loved. I got it at the cross. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Receive this ministry. God is trying to get you to release what you have received. You've been doing it the wrong way. You've been trying to receive it, release it, receive it, release it, receive it, release it, receive it, release it, receive it from him. Don't try to receive it from them. They are unpredictable and they got their own stuff. and their own reasons. Receive it. Release it. If you receive this word, lift your hands. Lift them high, like you have a Father who loves you and made up his mind about you and isn't trying to decide whether or not to accept you on the basis of your performance. Somebody say, my righteousness is in the cross. Keep your hands stretched. This is how you live. This is how you get it. 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 Not when a group accepts you, not when a promotion comes. This is how you get it. You're gonna go into this week with something to give. You're gonna go into this week knowing who you are. Lift your hands. Well, I hope you enjoyed the teaching today, but I don't want it to end here. I have a special resource I want to tell you about called 7 Mile Miracle, because what you heard today was really just part of the journey, where we took the last sayings of Jesus on the cross and applied them to our everyday life. So it really enabled us to go into some deep topics like forgiveness and distress and salvation, the fundamentals of our faith, but explore them at a personal level. It's called 7 Mile Miracle. It's your personal encounter with the resurrected Christ. And I believe it's going to be a blessing to you. So if you've been wanting to grow closer to God, but you don't really know where to start, or you want to hit a reset in your relationship with him, or maybe just build your faith or address some of the tough topics through the lens of the very words of Jesus, this is the resource for you. I want you to call right now and request your copy of 7 Mile Miracle today. And we'll make it available to you with any gift to the ministry. You can help us reach people while investing in your own spiritual growth. And I believe this is one of those journeys, Holly, that changes how we view our pain, our setbacks, and our disappointment, but not just at the surface level. We're going to learn, too, what Jesus meant when he said, Father, forgive them. Or when he told the thief, today you will be with me in paradise. We're gonna come out on the other side of this journey, not only stronger, but smarter. We're gonna understand, and the eyes of our heart are gonna be open. So pick up the phone, visit us online, whatever you need to do. I want you to join Jesus on this journey. It's called 7 Mile Miracle, and we want to get it into your hands today. Stay tuned for details.
It's not always easy to know what to do or where to go. You question if this is the right path, wondering if you've gone the wrong way. When it feels hopeless and bleak, you can begin to question your faith. I mean, God said he'd never leave you, right? But why do you feel so alone? You want to stop here, give up, and not move on. This is the place where you wonder, why did everything go wrong?
You keep trying to figure out the reason for what's happening to you. And when you can't figure out the reason, you want to jump off the road. But if you would reverse the search and believe in your heart what you have not yet seen with your eyes, and believe the goodness of God, this journey doesn't start with making sense. This journey starts with faith. Have faith in God.
You know what? You don't need to know why to have the faith to keep going, because God's not gonna leave you here.
The second 7 miles is when you turn back around and stop running from what God saved you out of and start running toward what God saved you for.
Take this 7-mile journey with us. Call or go online to request your copy of 7 Mile Miracle today.
To the skies, heavy with blessing, lift your eyes, offer your heart. Jesus Christ, open the heavens, now we receive the Spirit of God. We receive your rain. We receive your rain. Every seed buried in sorrow, you will call forth in His time. You are Lord, Lord.
Well, you've experienced Elevation as a TV program, but now we want to invite you to be a part of our church family, our extended family, our eFam all around the world. Did you know you can join us live every single week from wherever you are? We stream all of our full worship experiences live with the preaching and the music, and it's amazing. So here's what I want you to do. Go on Facebook, find my official Facebook page, not one of the fake ones, and then like it, so you can get access to content throughout the week. There's all kinds of stuff we want to encourage you with, but also you'll be able to stream our experiences live on Facebook. So do it right now. Go like the page, Steven Furtick Official on Facebook, so you don't miss out, and I hope you'll join us for church this weekend.